Hey Canucks fans, the Vancouver Canucks have traded center Jason Dickinson to the Chicago Blackhawks for defenseman Riley Stillman. I'm Canuck Clay, and this is my Canucks take all in one take. It's Clay's Canucks commentary, my second video of the day for Friday, October the 7th. If you're new, here's what you should do. Hit the subscribe button now for daily Canucks insight that's positive, timely, and trustworthy. Going to talk about the trade, going to quickly recap tonight's game that I was at because I'm not sure if I'm going to do a video tomorrow. So by tomorrow, I'll put a post up on my community tab. Leave me a question for my Ask Me Anything vlog on Sunday. But just in case I don't get to a vlog tomorrow, I will try and cover everything today. So let's talk about the game first. Then let's talk about the injuries. And then let's talk about the trade. So the game. 4-0 Vancouver Canucks. Barely recognize anyone on the Arizona Coyotes roster. However, Troy Stecher, ex-Canuck. Alex Chason, ex-Canuck. Dylan Guenther, picked with the pick that we traded to the Coyotes for Oliver Ekman-Larsson and Garland. So at least those were three interesting storylines. Coyotes took 10 penalties and got 7 shots on goal. So they had more penalties than shots on net. That is very rare. That's a pretty impressive feat when you think about it. Meanwhile, the Canucks iced to pretty much a full lineup, although Quinn Hughes did not play and Tyler Myers didn't play as well, along with injured players Besser, Mikheyev, Dermott, among others, and I'll get to all that in a couple minutes. So overall, it was an entertaining game. Yeah, it was fine. It's always nice to see the Canucks win. Kuzmenko had a really nice breakaway goal. PD had a nice goal. Horvat I think it was on a power play, and then a nice play from Lazar to Joshua. Those were the 4 Canucks goals. Demko gets a shutout, probably the easiest shutout he'll ever get. 7 shots on net, and yeah, it was great to see the Canucks win. It wasn't the most entertaining game when it came to style of play or intensity. I was there with my lovely wife Gail and my brand new seats in section 115. They're pretty sick seats. And then Sean and Fernanda were there. Jacob and Kayla were there. So all 5 emo family were there along with Fernanda. It was a great night indeed. Got to meet many fans, many people, people that recognized me or I recognized them. So all in all, a great night at the arena. Now, we already knew that Besser, Mikheyev, Dermott, Myers, Hughes, DiGiuseppe, all of them were not going to play. Then in this, I think it was the second period, right in front of me, I had a really good look at it. Connor Garland took a could have been a pretty nasty hit. He was engaging with one player, then he spun the other way, and as he spun, he got nailed by another Coyotes player. So we haven't heard much. It sounds like the way that Boudreau was talking after the game, that thankfully it's not going to be that serious. But we will find out probably tomorrow or Sunday when the Canucks practice next. I'm not sure if they're practicing tomorrow, but definitely find out by Sunday when I know they're practicing, because that's when Besser and Mikheyev are supposed to practice as well. But please, 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 hockey gods, do not let Connor Garland get hurt, because then that would be 3 of our top 9 players if he's hurt, and that would make Besser, Mikheyev, and him. As I mentioned earlier today, Besser is expected to practice on Sunday full, including contact. That's awesome. Mikheyev expected to practice on Sunday wearing a no-contact jersey, so not so good. But maybe that means Besser might be even ready for season opener or very close to it. Patrick Allvin confirmed during the second intermission press conference that Travis Dermott did indeed have a concussion, so they hope to get him back. Tyler Myers is 2 to 4 weeks. Phil DiGiuseppe another few weeks with a lower body injury. And then Justin Dowling was hurt, but he was put on waivers today to get through to Abbotsford. So we'll see if Connor Garland joins the walking wounded. I hope not. Otherwise, the Canucks will likely start the season with both Tyler Myers and Travis Dermott on long-term injury reserve. Then on short-term injury reserve, likely Besser, Mikheyev, and maybe Pullman. So with this trade now, let's turn our attention to the trade. The Canucks actually get some significant savings. So let's talk about the player that we are getting first. Well, we should talk about the trade first. It was Jason Dickinson and a 2024 second-round draft pick, so not next year's draft, but the year after, for defenseman Riley Stillman. Dickinson, remember, we got him a couple years ago for, we traded away a third-round pick, got Jason Dickinson, then signed him to a 3-year contract, I should say, $2.65 million. So basically just a shed, not anything a bad word, just under $8 million. And he had a really disappointing season last season, really disappointing season. Did not come as advertised. And then that kind of led to his trade because someone like Niels Åman outplayed him. Åman got to play tonight. Maybe this trade was in the works. So it looked like Dickinson was going to lose his opportunity to be the fourth line center. And it's really, really good when you can have younger players push. And in this case, Åman making probably league minimum or close to it as a rookie, whereas Dickinson making $2.65 million. That within that roster switch, that would have been a savings of almost $2 million, maybe $1.8, $1.9 million a season. And that's if Dickinson, if that was considered just a flat out cut. However, we traded him and the second round pick for Riley Stillman. Stillman is 24 years old, a left shot defenseman. Patrick Alvin calls him hard to play against, making our team tougher to play against. A third pairing blue liner. He was drafted back in 2016 by Florida in the fourth round. And he basically has played 3 seasons. He played 1 game in 2018-19, so that doesn't count as a full season. Then 2019-20, he played for Florida, 34 games with 5 points. Then 2020, 2021, started the year at Florida, ended it in Chicago, ended up with just 1 point in 21 games. And last year had 12 points in 52 games for Chicago. So really only 3 seasons, 1.5 with Florida, 1.5 with Chicago. So if he is a depth defenseman, if he's a left shot third pairing guy, I think they're presuming that the Canucks are presuming they're not going to start the season with Myers or Dermott. So you have, if you line it up like today, you would have OEL, Hughes, who didn't play, Rathbone on the left. You have Schenn, Myers, Pullman, Burrows on the right, and then you have Wolanin and now Stillman. So you have 9 defensemen kind of to battle for 6 spots. And then, of course, if the Canucks want to carry 7 or 8 defensemen, depending, you have spots for 1 or 2 more. So it gives them a bit of insurance, especially if they want to send Burrows or Wolanin down to the farm. But definitely, with 2 defensemen out in Myers and Dermott, you wanted another defenseman in. So that's the reasoning behind the trade from a position standpoint. But here's where the real savings is. Stillman also had a 3-year contract. So let's look at the remaining 2 years. For Stillman, $1.35 million a season in salary cap, so 2.7 total. Dickinson is 2.65 per season for the next 2 seasons. So he is 5.3 total. So 2.7 versus 5.3. The Canucks are saving $2.6 million on the cap by making this trade. They're saving, again, $2.6 million on the cap, $1.3 million per season for the next 2 seasons. And that's in cap hit. But in actual cash, they're actually saving more because Stillman's cap hit matches his cash, 1.35. But Dickinson's cap hit did not match his cash. His cap hit was 2.65, but his cash was actually 2.7 and then 3.25. So the Canucks are saving 2.6 in cap hit, but they're saving $3.25 million in cash. So that's significant money, $3.25 million in cash by making this trade. You could argue that that's the cost of getting that cap space, and that savings in cash was a 2024 second rounder. We might not like to hear of draft picks being traded, but that doesn't mean you can't get those picks back in future trades. So Canucks fans, would love to know your thoughts. When you heard of the trade, I think some people were just happy that Dickinson was going to get traded because they thought he wasn't worth what we were paying him. Then people, if they don't know a lot about Stillman, they might say, ooh, yes, we got rid of Dickinson, but we also had to get rid of a second rounder to do it. Maybe that's not a good trade. So, and then others are very happy that they think Stillman can add some much needed depth and grit, and they don't mind the loss of Dickinson and the draft pick that's associated. So Canucks fans, let me know in the comments below what you think. Tell me what you think about this trade, what your first reaction was, or maybe what you think of it now after you've heard kind of my money analysis of it. And then I'd love to know your thoughts in the comments below. And then don't forget, tomorrow, probably no vlog. I'm playing piano for a funeral in the morning, and then we have plans for the rest of the day. So we'll see if I get to a vlog, but if not, starting tomorrow on Saturday, you can go in my community tab, leave me a question for my Sunday Ask Me Anything vlog. Okay, friends, as always, thanks to my sponsors, Van City Experts Real Estate, Perform and Transform, Personal Training, Weight Loss. Thank you to legendary Lucas Gates, legendary Justin Credible, legendary Andrew Chang, Hall of Fame and franchise members, and thanks to all of you for watching and supporting me on this channel. As always, subscribe if you'd like to, like this video if you'd like to, leave a tip, a super thanks if you'd like to, become a member or upgrade your membership if you'd like to, and leave a comment down below if you'd like to. Your reaction on this trade for the Vancouver Canucks. If you made it this far in the video, 10 minutes in, I think, yeah, type in the word shutout. Shutout, because Demko got a shutout. Nothing to do with the trade, but Demko got a shutout, and we should celebrate that. And if I see that, then I know you made it to the end of this video or you copied someone else. Stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourselves, and take care of each other. Have a great night. God bless, and go Canucks go.